So after the fire dies down and those affected get the material assistance they need in terms of shelter, food and clothing, many are left with horrific injuries that take time to heal. There's a sizable population of people who suffered serious burns here in South Africa, many of them needing numerous surgeries and constant medical attention, which does not come cheap. I'm now joined by Carike Verbooy, academic head and branch manager at Boston Media House. Carike, I appreciate your time this afternoon. South Africa faces a significant challenge with severe burn injuries in children. Can you elaborate on the factors contributing to this alarming incidence? Obviously, some are socioeconomic issues and common causes of these injuries.
100%. So I think we cannot ignore the fact that there are high incident rates in South Africa, and especially in the informal settlements, as you have just spoken about. And because of these factors, these people also have limited access to healthcare facilities and to water, which just makes it much more worse. There's inadequate infrastructure, as we see Johannesburg is currently also struggling with a lack of water, the poverty, the socioeconomic factors, and unfortunately substance abuse also plays a role in burn injuries in South Africa.
Now, the Smile Foundation plays a crucial role in helping burn victims receive specialized treatment, infection control protocols, and some reconstructive surgery. Can you provide more details on how the foundation operates?
Sure. So besides just funding operations for children for pre- and post-operative care, they also provide infrastructure to the public healthcare system through purchasing medical equipment and upgrading the departments of plastic and reconstructive surgery, existing facilities, upgrading them, and also providing training to the medical staff at these facilities. And to achieve these goals, they need fundraising initiative, and they need us in the community to stand up. And this is where Boston Media House Public Relations students is. Here we are willing to play a big role in this.
Now, that fundraising initiative launched by third-year public relations students is a commendable effort. Can you share some insights into the initiative's goals and how it aims to support the Smile Foundation's mission?
So firstly, it's important to recognize that this was a charity that was chosen by the students themselves, and we believe in providing agency to our students. Now, our students, obviously, because of hearing of the devastation that flames are causing in Johannesburg, they also wanted to provide on-campus activities that can provide a smile to the students. So if we take the literal meaning of the Smile Foundation, it provided Smile Foundations, and they wanted to raise some funds. But not only funds, they also wanted to create awareness about this fantastic non-governmental organization. And to do so, they had a raffle. They got the community involved to sponsor prizes, to buy raffle tickets, and they had a fun day where students could get involved in games to raise some serious money for Smile Foundation.
So let's talk about the victims, or certainly some of those individuals that have burns, the kids that we're speaking about. What are the challenges that they face in their daily lives? Because these children obviously are able to run about with their friends, but all of a sudden they find themselves in a fire, 3rd or 4th degree burns, and after that they can't do many of the things that they used to.
So I think the thing with burn victims is it's not just go to the hospital, get one treatment, and then you're fine. We find that with burn victims, they need consistent care. They need to go and get, skin grafts. They need to make sure that the wound is properly taken care of so it doesn't get infection. And that sometimes means that children are limited. They cannot always go out and play with their friends, play in the water. They have to really take care. And also, let's not forget psychologically, if they have a scar on their face, how are other people going to treat them? How are they going to look at them? So, for a child, it's serious for everybody, but especially for a child, can you imagine one day you look like this, the next day you look like this, and you're going out to your friends, Although it has to be said, sometimes adults are much worse than children when it comes to treating people a little bit different.
So let's talk about trauma counselling and what goes into it, both for the children and the parents, because it's an equal amount of trauma. Because as a parent, you need to learn to support your child, because one minute they have this glorious smile, and you still need to tell them they have a beautiful smile, even though they may be slightly disfigured. You, on the other hand, are receiving pressure or in your community, you're not always treated the way you should be treated. You talk about adults and how sometimes people can be really, really horrid.
Correct. So this was very interesting for us as Boston Media House to learn from Smile Foundation that it isn't just the medical care, but it is the psychosocial support that the children and their parents receive. Counseling, how do we approach our new life? What are things that we need to take care of? A lot of the times you find that when a child is injured, it also places pressure on the marriage of the two adults. We've heard of many cases because the child has to be taken care of. A lot of the times you find that the mother has to move away closer to the hospital where the child is getting treatment, and it can go on for months and months and months, that there might be estrangement. So that is why it's very important to receive trauma counseling, not only for the child that has been burned, but also for the adults in their life. And how do we cope with this new reality and make it as normal as possible?
Carike Verbooy speaking to us on how we can help South Africa's burn victims. Thank you for your time this afternoon.